The
The
Promise,
Promise,
Part
Part
15.
15.
Slowly, he reached for her, his hand brushing against her waist. The touch sent a current through him, fierce and tightening his chest. He wanted to breathe but couldn't. For Lena, that single touch made her shiver. It was heat and light coursing through her. Their eyes met again, both trembling, as if they had stepped into the same heartbeat. He leaned down, giving her time to stop him. She didn't. Their eyes held for a long moment, neither daring to breathe. Then Chris moved closer, slowly, as if led by something he no longer had the strength to resist. His hand slid to her waist, his thumb grazing her bare skin, and the world around them faded into stillness. When his lips met hers, it was soft, trembling, and unbearably real, a kiss that felt more like a confession than desire. Lena's knees weakened. A quiet tremor passed through her body as though the earth itself had shifted beneath her. Chris felt her tremble, and instinct took over. His strong arms wrapped around her, steadying her gently against his chest. She leaned into him without thinking, her breath shallow, her heartbeat fluttering wildly between them. It wasn't enough to just touch her. He needed to hold her, to give her something solid to stand on. He drew her closer, grounding her with his warmth, feeling her calm against him even as his own pulse thundered. For a moment, it felt like they were two halves of the same breath, holding on to each other not just out of longing, but out of passion.
Your breath on my skin, the world fades away. One touch and I'm lost, nothing more to say. The silence spoke louder than words could confess. In your arms I found my rest. This kiss, it feels like forever, like time stood still when our hearts came together. Every beat, every breath says it's you I've missed. Oh, I'm home in this kiss. No promises, no need for plans, just your heartbeat close to my hand. I knew from that moment nothing compares to this. Our love began with a kiss.
The song faded, their movements slowed until they were simply holding each other, breathing the same quiet air. Neither spoke for a moment. The only sound was the rain tapping gently against the window and the soft rhythm of their hearts still catching up to what had just happened. Chris brushed a strand of hair from her face, his voice low, almost tender. "Thank you for this chance, Lena. I promise you'll get the best of me, the very best." His words carried a sincerity that reached straight into her chest. Lena smiled shyly, her gaze dropping to the floor before meeting his eyes again. "I should go home," she whispered, her cheeks warm with a mixture of excitement and nervousness. He nodded gently, not wanting to press her. "All right," he said softly. "Let me walk you home." They stepped out together, crossing the quiet street under the silver glow of the streetlight. The city was hushed, washed clean by the evening rain. Their hands brushed once, twice, neither daring to hold on but neither pulling away either. Every small glance between them felt like a spark, an unspoken promise of what was growing. When they reached Lena's building, she turned to face him, her voice barely above the whisper of the night breeze. "Good night, Chris." He hesitated for a second, his heart racing, then leaned forward and kissed her softly on the lips. It wasn't rushed or demanding. It was gentle, warm, a lingering exchange of breath and feeling. Her eyes fluttered closed, and for a heartbeat, the world stilled again. "Good night, Lena," he murmured, his voice rough with emotion. She smiled, unable to speak. When she stepped inside and slowly closed the door, Her fingers lingered on the handle, her lips still tingling from his touch. She leaned her forehead against the door, smiling like someone who had just been handed a secret too beautiful to tell. Chris stood outside for a long moment, his hands in his pockets, his breath uneven. He looked up at her window, wondering if she was doing the same. Then he laughed softly to himself and whispered, "She's something else." When he returned to his apartment, he felt her presence everywhere, the faint scent of her perfume, the way her laughter still seemed to echo in the air. He showered slowly, smiling at nothing, thinking about her eyes, her voice, the way she'd said his name. Afterward, he drew back the curtain and looked across the street. Her lights were off, her curtain still closed. For a moment, he almost wanted to text her just to say goodnight again, but he stopped himself, smiling. Across the road, Lena stood by her bathroom mirror, fingertips brushing her lips, whispering a quiet laugh. "I can't believe this," she said softly. Her heart was racing, but in the gentlest way, a rhythm she hadn't known before. And as both lay down that night, miles apart yet only a road away, neither could sleep. Every time they closed their eyes, they saw the other's face, the kiss, the smile, the look that had said everything words could not. It was a night neither would ever forget.